This is Miami All Access.
First of all, just awesome place, Paul Brown Stadium. Had never been there. Awesome environment, venue for a football game. Be pretty cool to play there every year. I'm going to be pushing for that somehow, some way to play a game there. So they hosted us great, and it was awesome. The crowd was great, and the atmosphere was electric. It felt like a big-time football game is what it felt like. The game was great. If you like college football, that was a dang exciting football game from pretty much start to finish. I felt like our preparation Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even Saturday morning at a walkthrough was the best by far since I've been here. I really felt like we're going to play some good football. It doesn't always work out that way. Some weeks you practice real well and you don't play real well, but I felt like regardless of how we played Saturday, we're starting to turn the corner as far as our professionalism and our preparation. We came out smoking, took the lead. They're really explosive on both sides of the ball. We knew they had athletes. See them live on the field. They can really, really, really run on both sides of the ball. It's pretty awesome to watch. There's times we thought we had some plays that looked like they were going to get 10, 12 yards, and we got about 5, and guys on Cincinnati really closed space in a hurry. And then same thing, obviously, offensively for Cincinnati. They just have such explosive athletes on the perimeter that they can make a big play at any time. Felt great. We're 14-10. First 25 minutes of the game was by far the best to me we've looked since I've been here. We got the ball, 5 minutes left, 7 minutes left, something, and we go 3 and out, and we misfire on a slant route where we got a guy open. Got to complete it, get the first down, and keep the momentum going. They immediately drive down and score. Then we're kind of we don't too much time to take a knee, but we're trying to run the half out really, and we fumble the ball trying to run the half out, which is always a bad thing. And then it's 24-14, and it's almost like you felt like all your hard work and all your preparation, it's just all lost in 5 minutes there. It's kind of like such a defeated, deflated attitude. So frustrated. We knew the kids would feel that way, especially our guys with what they've been through. So we got in there early at halftime and basically, you know, told them like we have self-inflicted wounds again, and I got it. It's getting old for all of us, but we know we can play at these guys, and they're a damn good football team. And we got to, if we don't keep playing at a high level, this thing could get ugly in a hurry because we saw what they did to Toledo. So came out smoking the second half. Got it 24-21. Got it to where we're in field position, and again, we obviously if you've been following us, we got to play better with the game on the line. We have some kids, honestly, that are still just, we get close, third, fourth quarter, and the look in their eyes is one of panic. And you still see that with some kids, and we play tentative, and we don't play aggressive. And then we have another side that's trying to do too much. They're not tentative. They want to win so bad. They got a great look in their eye, but they're trying to win the game on every snap because it's late in the third, early fourth, middle of the fourth. And both of them are bad approaches. The scared to death, oh my God, we could win, we could go beat Cincinnati, we haven't beat them in 8 years, we're a 29.5-point underdog, and look at us, look at 24-21. And then the other kid that, I'm going to win the game right now, I want to win so bad, I'm going to make something happen. And we didn't manage the game. We got the ball in field goal range, and we throw the ball to the other team. Then we get the ball in field goal range again, and we take a sack, and now we're not tied. They go up 31-21. Obviously, we come back. We look like one of my drives, the Caleb field goal, low burner, slicing like crazy. We'll take it. There's no style points in this game. It's 31-24. And then we kind of got our composure. We got a nice stop, and we put together the first time under duress all season, we actually looked composed offensively. We methodically moved the ball down the field. Made some big plays in the drive, but we didn't. We looked like we were organized. We looked like our kids were calm. We get first and goal at the 1. They stuff us. Okay, second and goal. Kind of we're trying to slip a little tight end delay on them. They were kind of ready for it, so we throw the ball away. We're third and goal from the 5. We're still managing it. They basically have 2 pressures down there. We know they're going to bring one of the 2. We protect the way we wanted to protect. We got Alex Welch standing 2 yards in the end zone. You can look at the tape. He's standing 2 yards in the end zone looking at Andrew Hendricks, and there's a UC player 2 yards behind him. It's going to be like a 5-yard throw. And one of our freshmen who was in the game, who unfortunately we're playing true freshman, but we have to block down instead of blocked out. We cut a guy loose and said the game tied. You're a 5-yard completion. from a tie game and probably heading overtime. You never know. There's still some time on the clock, but you got at least you're 31-31 with 5 minutes to go, and we make a mistake. And like I told the kid after the game, hey, he didn't make as many mistakes Saturday night as I did, but obviously it's a critical mistake at a critical time, and it's just frustrating to see. We knew we had the guy open, and we didn't have time to get it to him, and they do a good job of grinding out the clock, and we lose the game. So by far the best we've played. In all facets of the game against a really talented team, really athletic team. I mean, fast, athletic, size-wise, definitely comparable to Michigan and Marshall as far as speed, not taking a backseat to those guys anything as far as size, strength, and speed. So played by far our best football, but it's the same old story. We've got to find ways to play good when it counts and win games.
How would you describe the team's overall level of confidence compared to the beginning of the season?
I'd say it's just growing every week. You know, growing and growing and growing. And we always say is like, it's the adage in coaching, well, you got to build confidence because you have to have a confident team. And I've been coaching for over 20 years, and I always I wish somebody could teach you how to build a kid's confidence. I said, the only way I know kids get confidence is they make plays in games. You know, you can practice and you can tell them they're great, but if they continually go out in the game and blunder and don't make the block or don't make the catch or don't run the route or don't make the tackle, you can tell them they're good and they know they're not good. They know they can't do it. So because starting with the second half of Marshall, all right, and then even Eastern Kentucky, which we made 90% of the plays in the game. We bungled the game up, and then Michigan, we probably made more plays than a lot of people thought we were capable of making, particularly on defense. And then obviously Cincinnati, we went toe-to-toe with them for 4 quarters. I mean, they made as many plays as us. They probably made one more than we did, but it was back and forth the whole game. And if you sat and watched a game, you never felt like Miami didn't have a chance in the game. It wasn't like Michigan, we kind of hung on and were surviving and hanging in there, where Cincinnati, we were playing really good football and making plays and kind of going punch for punch with them. So they're gaining it based on how they're playing.
Heath Harding played a lot of safety in the game. What kind of made your staff do that, and is that going to stay?
Well, a couple different things. You're always trying to figure out how to get your most 11 talented players on the field, and we didn't really feel like we had our 11 best guys on the field on defense. We're not all together for sure, but you're going week by week. And then Cincinnati just runs so many 4 receiver sets pretty much the whole game, and it made a lot of sense that week to try to match up and we need more corners on the field. You don't want to put, sometimes their best receiver was number 2 in the boundary, and you don't want to put a more run support safety one-on-one on him, and whether it's man or zone. So trying to match skill for skill. They're electric out there with their athletes, and we were trying to be as electric as we can be. So we were trying to match their skill.
Injuries, I know you lost Marcus for the game.
Yeah, we lost him, and Dupuis went out early, and then in the first half was a revolving door. It seemed like every 30 seconds we had somebody sitting behind me and somebody else running in there. So adds to how well we played, considering we had, Lowe went down and Cookie was down and Trevin was down and Dupuis was down and Paul Moses was down, and it was one right after another, and our kids just kind of kept playing, and didn't really matter who was in, which was good to see. We're talking about depth and trying to have some guys step up, which we did Saturday. Besides Dupuis, everyone doesn't have season-ending injuries. Dupuis has a season-ending upper body injury, and everyone else we're going to be fighting to get back. Who we get back, it's way too early to tell. It's Monday morning. So, but they're all injuries that they could play with this Saturday, or a couple of them it's going to be probably up to game time. But none of the other ones are major deals that they're definitely out.
Yeah, Buffalo this week. What have you seen from them so far?
Just starts with, they've been there for 5 years, or this is their 5th year, and they're, obviously grew, and then year 4, they put together a really nice year. And then just continuing the coaching staff and organization, they play really good football. They win games because they play football the way it's supposed to be played. They don't beat themselves on defense. They don't beat themselves on offense. They run the ball. They stop the run. And those are all the things that good teams do. All right. Obviously, their quarterback, who led them to a great season last year, is off to a phenomenal start this year, whipping the ball around. And the lessons to learn when you watch other teams. He's played with leads this year and played well. He's come from behind and played well. He had one game where they were way up and then they were behind, and as soon as they got behind, he let them right back down for a score to put them ahead. So there's an experienced kid that plays his best football when Buffalo needs it. And it's nice at that spot to have that experience, that a calming effect on their whole football team. So obviously they lost a great player last year, the draft, but they got a number of other athletic kids that have come back, and they've kind of built up a pretty darn strong MAC program. So we're going to have our hands full as far as just individual matchups. We're also going to have our hands full based on the experience of their team and their coaching staff versus ours.
I don't know if you know this or not, but this is at Buffalo is where the streak started, the current losing streak that the team is on. Would it kind of be nice to have things come full circle and end that streak?
Kind of like I said after the game, it'd be nice if it happened out in the Millette parking lot against Jones Junior High right now. If we can get a win, we'll take it. So I don't really, heck yeah, it's the next game on our schedule. We would love for the streak to end at Buffalo. I don't, if that makes it nice for an article that things wrapped around, that's great. For our lives, we just want to win a dang game. So.